What's up, everyone? We are back for some more Mecha Break gameplay. Gonna be playing as Falcon this time, a striker that has been very popular in all of the betas, I think, but probably the most popular in this one because it did get some very nice changes from the previous one. I know my first beta I played in, Skyraider, was just so dominant that, I mean, I don't even think Falcon was necessarily bad, but when it came down to air combat, Skyraider was significantly better. And then the previous beta, the open beta that a lot more people were part of, I think it was a bit more even, but I would probably still say Skyraider was a tad bit better. This time around, though, Falcon is, I think, the clear winner of aerial combat, and a big part of that is the fact that they added new maneuvers. And you're seeing me doing one right here, right off the start, this downward spiral, and that is, I think, the best of the three maneuvers you have. You can do a upward loop, a downward loop, and that downward spiral, and the downward spiral is both the easiest one to do and I think the most useful, because not only does it make it hard for people to hit you, I mean, your model doesn't actually move around that much, so I think if people manually aim, they can hit you, but it does block lock-on, so a lot of people are going to be relying on that to land their shots, and the fact that you're doing that downward spiral is going to make you a lot harder to hit if they're relying on that. And it just moves you around a little bit, so just if they're free aiming, it's still going to be a bit harder to hit. But above all else, I would say, is the fact that it allows you to stall your momentum in midair. And what the flyers always have is a bit of a problem, is when you're flying at someone, you're hitting them all your damage, eventually you're going to go too fast, because you're just faster than every other striker out there, and you're going to pass by them, and you're going to have to do, you know, exit flight mode, turn around real quick, hit them again, do a loop around or something like that. You know, you're going to have to keep strafing past them to get your damage. But with this downward spiral, you can stall your momentum in one spot and just keep hitting them, and sometimes get off multiple missile barrages before you even have to recharge your energy or reload. And right there, I did take out that Aquila using that downward spiral a bit, but that would have been a perfect chance to use the other maneuvers to get some quick height using that upward loop. I know the people who are really good with Falcon take advantage of that as well. They'll use the upward loop, and I think if you hold the loop all the way, you do come back down, maybe slightly higher than where you started, but you can do the loop up to the top, cancel flight mode, and then immediately go back into flight mode to get some quick height, and that is what you'll see a lot of the best Falcon players doing. And I'm not quite at that level yet. I'm learning. I think I've got the downward loop down pretty good, but the other maneuvers take an extra button, because the downward loop is just you hold whatever your descend button is, and then whatever your reverse or slow down button, so backwards while you're flying, and then you can do that, while the upward loop and the downward loop are ascend button or descend button for downward loop, forward, and then you also have to hold the boost. So for me, it'd be the shift key, but whatever your boost button is, you've got that map too. So it's an extra button, and for whatever reason, that just messes with my head, and I don't have the muscle memory for it yet. But I did do it right there to kind of get away from that Panther a little bit, and I think I'll use it a couple more times during this. But that's definitely something I learned a bit more. I don't think it's as useful as the downward spiral, but probably if you're doing more like dogfight, Falcon versus Falcon, I think that's where it gets a lot more value, because it can be very hard for another flyer to follow you when you're adding those types of maneuvers to your kind of moveset. But so far, the enemy team has a bit of a lead here, and we're starting to enter that part of the map, which is not fun for flyers. Palm Bay Harbor, or sorry, Palm Bay Harbor, that's the new name. It used to be Mercury Shipyards, and I don't know, I kind of like the old name. The new name works good too, but I feel like the shipyard is definitely the feeling I'm getting from this map. But yeah, this middle part of the map, the indoors area, that's rough for snipers and for flyers, and we're starting to enter there now. And realistically, it's probably why it's probably Falcon's worst map. But I was trying to make it work. I was in a Falcon mood, and I know people have been wanting to see some Falcon gameplay, so I kind of decided to try and make it happen. But it will kind of even out. I'm the only flyer, but I don't think they have any flyers on their team, aside from if you count Aquila. So Aquila, like I said, sniper's kind of bad on this area too, so it should balance out a bit. So I'm going to see what I can do. I can do a little bit of a downward spiral, but I eventually get too low where it will automatically cancel it. I'm just trying to get off what damage I can, because you can't use the extra missiles, and your primary fire is weaker when you're out of flight mode. So I do want to be able to be in flight mode indoors if I can, but it's going to be tough to do. And if I can't be, then I'm still going to do what damage I can just in the regular mode. Like right here, we've got our Welkin Tread, 2 people in the box. Pick off one there, and maybe look at this Panther as well. Looks like he was maybe out of energy or something. He's kind of just sitting there for a second, but it looks like he is going to slip away. He's got his complex shields out again. I'll throw some missiles his way. But Hurricane just spawning in, came out of his cloak, and this is going to be great for me. As long as he doesn't get all of his shields up, I can fly past one of them here. And Hurricane is one of the targets that I can actually burn down relatively quick. Aquila is probably going to be my easiest one to hit, and you have seen me go after him a couple times already. But at least when we're still in this indoors area, I don't actually know if he's going to be able to accomplish much. So Hurricane definitely a bigger target. Try to chase him down here. Get down to just a sliver HP. Unfortunately, that Tricera there, he took my lock on when he was in his turret mode and also hit me with the cannon a couple times. So I am barely hanging on, and Aquila sniping at me. That shot looked like it connected, but I guess not, because it would have gone through my fluid shields at least a little bit and taken me out there, but it may have just been a bit of a visual server desync. So I am still alive, and it looks like he's got his focus elsewhere. It really just one shot on me and I'm dead, but he's looking at other things. Trying to finish him off here, but that Tricera far away is still taking my lock on. Maybe the Hurricane shield as well. And we do take out Aquila again now that we're starting to get into the last part of the map, this open area where I'll be able to be a little bit more dominant again. But they still got the lead. C point is coming up soon. This will give us a bit of a time to catch up. I think we've got one of our turret boys sitting on the cart right now. Yeah, we can see it's advancing there. Might be able to kill that Hurricane again. But no, Panther finally lands the hit. Even though I was in that downward spiral, he did manage to land the melee. And finally, my first life does come to an end. And it looks like Panther has not died yet, so he's doing pretty well. But yeah, you're going to be... In general, you're going to be seeing the meta, I feel like, is going to be the very tanky Ultra Heavies. You're going to see a lot of Tricera Stego combination, the dynamic duo, Dumb and Dumber, whatever you want to call them. But this map especially is where they excel. I think both the turrets, Tricera and Stego, plus a healer, and maybe even Hurricane, is probably the best group of 4 mechs you can run on this map. And we do have Tanaka with our 2 turrets, no Hurricane, and then they don't have a healer, but they do have the Hurricane, so if they stick together, they're going to be hard to deal with. But picking up 2 quick kills there. They've getting a pretty good lead, though, over 10%. And it's a little bit hard to tell with the disruption of the lock-on from Tricera there, but yet we can see the Stego shield come out. They are both there. Stego's actually pretty low, though. This might be a good opportunity to get him. And you take him out. Tricera got off of the cart and goes down as well there. And this is actually a great opportunity. They've got the lead still, but we just took out 3 of them. We might be able to get Panther here as well, and this is going to mean most of their team is gone while most of us are up, so that's 4 down. I changed my focus to the Hurricane as well. Looks like their Welkin came back. He's on the cart. Just the 2 of them, but now Aquila's spawning in again. If we can just keep taking them out when they're in these smaller numbers here, so there's a great chance to catch up. One of our turret guys is on the cart this whole time making a move. I'm still getting sniped as Aquila, and this would be a good opportunity to go after him, but I just want to make sure we have control over their cart while we start taking the lead here, so I'm ignoring him for the time being. It looks like he's still trying to snipe me, but I want to make sure this Hurricane and Welkin are not on the cart. And we've got someone on there forcing it back, and we're getting into the home stretch here. Firing away at that Stego. He doesn't have his Tricera buddy with him. He goes down. Looks like Panther's trying to stop our cart. Hitting with everything I got. I'm completely out of energy. Still getting sniped by Aquila. Dip down for a second. See his stun drone right there. Isn't able to land a hit on me. And with that, we are able to push the cart over the line. So we were behind basically the whole map. That final stretch, we got a nice triple kill, following up with a 4th kill, and then they were just kind of staggered after that. As long as we were prioritizing target focus, we were able to finish them off as they were spawning in, and they weren't able to really set up that defensive structure with their 2 turret guys on the carts at the same time. Yeah, there it is, Tricera MVP. Not a big surprise. If you have Tricera and Stego, it's pretty hard for them to not get MVP on this map just because of how much objective work they're going to be doing. Which, in sharp contrast to Falcon, I'm basically doing no direct objective stuff. Maybe a little bit on those points where I was out of flight mode trying to help cap the waypoints to get our cart to go forward a little bit. But yeah, I'd made one attempt to actually stand on the cart, and I immediately got hit by a Panther and changed my mind. So shout-outs to the more objective-focused teammates for helping make that happen while I attempt to cover them from the skies. But still, very... enjoyable, a fun Falcon match, able to top the leaderboard in kills, so you know I had a good time, even though this may not be Falcon's best map. It still worked out pretty well. But yeah, hopefully you guys are still enjoying Falcon as well. I know a lot of people were asking to see some more gameplay, so hopefully you're also having a good time with Falcon yourself. But that's going to be it for this time, guys. Let me know if there's other strikers you'd still like to see gameplay for before this beta comes to a close, whenever that may be. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.